Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. In our first story, I'm sick of my friend asking for money that she doesn't pay back. Let's jump right in. I'm a 27-year-old female and I have a friend who's a 31-year-old female who has asked me for money several times. To put context into it, I'm a teacher living with my boyfriend with no kids. She is married and has 2 kids. Late in 2019, she calls me and says she is in financial trouble and if I could lend her $1,300 that she could pay me back in 3 months' time. It was the start of the school year and she could not pay for the things her kids needed or even afford food by this point. Kids are my weak point, so I ended up lending her the money, which was all of my savings. Honestly, it was the very first time I lent that much money, so now I know it was a stupid mistake. When she asked for it, she needed it so urgently that I think I didn't give it much thought. 3 months later, she called to tell me that she quit her job because she wanted to start her own business to spend more time with her kids. So it would take her longer to pay me back since she was taking the money and starting her own business. Once again, begged me because she needed to feed her kids. I was angry, but we have been friends for a long time, so I told her to pay me half, and the other half it could take longer for her to pay me back. She actually had a good business idea, but could not manage it properly. She tried to get too big too quickly. She couldn't keep up with the orders, she started selling things she did not physically have in stock, she would use the money for other things, and when her products took longer to get to her customers, they demanded their money back, which she did not have. She had started her business right away in a physical store in a very expensive area, etc. She took her sweet time to pay me back. Meanwhile, she would get her nails done, go out for dinner, go on vacations and everything. Every time I actually needed money from my savings, I had to beg her to give me my money back. She would tell me, "Sure, I will transfer you $200 this afternoon," and then transfer me $20, saying she just missed a zero. Finally, she paid me back a year later. In 2020, her small business was taking off and she was doing well. She called me to ask if I could help her oldest kid, a 9-year-old female, with tutoring for her online school. Since she was falling behind, she would pay me for it. Again, kids were involved and I gave in. Silly me. Spent over 30 hours of tutoring with her that month and got her all caught up with school. And guess what? She did not pay me. She would go on and on about how she would do it next month, but she never did. After this, my boyfriend and I distanced ourselves from them. I got tired of asking her for the money, so I just took it as a life lesson. Last night, she texted me after a long time with the same speech. She is having trouble with her business and has no money. Husband has his own debt and needs me to lend her money. $1,000 will do. I have learned my lesson, so I said, I don't have money to spare right now. She continued with her sob story, but this time I did not cave. That same night, last night, she called me at 2 a.m. She woke me up, of course. She started talking again about how she couldn't sleep since she really needs the money. They could even get evicted and that if I love her kids, I should help her. So, you could imagine I snapped. It was late, but I told her something like, "If you live beyond your means, it is not my flipping problem. I'm not responsible for the well-being of your children, no matter how much I like them. Stop asking me for money and get your awful life together by yourself." I also disinvited her family to my boyfriend's birthday next week. I told her that I am cutting this friendship off for good. I woke up this morning to a text from her husband saying she trusts me the most, and that is why she asks me for money. I had other friends saying I should just say no and not humiliate her like that. Another even said that since I do not have kids, I should look out for those who do. Here are some edits for info. No, I am not from the United States, and yes, I do realize she was just using me for money. Took me way too long, but at least I did. Thank you everyone for the reassurance. About some of our friends, most of them did not know I had already lent her money or that she still owes me some. So after they found out, their opinions about it quickly turned. Story number 2. Fun times being a temporary receptionist. Before I got promoted at my work, I was a temporary receptionist, and most of my time was spent answering questions for people or transferring them to someone else in our office building. But every once in a while, I'd get a person in financial need or looking for a little bit of support. I had a sheet of paper for these folks, and on that sheet of paper were numbers for places like Mercy's Gate, places that help other people in need. I must note that my work itself is not a charity, but we help every once in a while, but we mostly send people over to Mercy's Gate because we partner with them. One day I got a call from this woman who said she was in need but didn't want to accept any of the help that I offered her. The conversation went like this. "Hello, this is Mary. How may I help you?" Yeah, hello. My name is RW, and I heard that I could call you guys if I needed a little bit of help." "What kind of help are you looking for?" "I just need some help financially. I'm about to lose my home, and I just need some help." "I'm very sorry to hear that, RW, but yes, I can help you out a little bit. I can give you Mercy Gate's number, and they should also be able to help support you a little bit. I was actually hoping that you could help me." "I'm sorry, ma'am, but we ourselves don't usually help that often, as we don't have the supplies and the funds to do so, which is why we partner with other organizations that do provide help." "But can't you just help me?" "I'm sorry, ma'am, but as I explained before, we unfortunately can't help everybody, which is why we partner with organizations whose purpose is to help other people in need. So basically, you don't give a crap that I'm about to be homeless and you'd let me be homeless." "Ma'am, I'm trying to refer you to Mercy's Gate so you don't become homeless. I'm trying my best to help you." "I already told you that I don't flipping want Mercy's Gate. I want you guys to help me." Now I'm getting a little frustrated. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but Mercy's Gate will honestly be able to help you a lot more than we can." "But I don't flipping want Mercy's Gate." "Ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, why don't you want Mercy's Gate? I'm really trying to understand." "I don't want some cheap-ass flipping food for poor flipping people." "Ma'am, if I do recall, you are struggling financially. Mercy's Gate will help make sure that you get food in your belly. I don't know your employment status and it's none of my business, but perhaps Mercy's Gate will support you long enough so that you can get into a better financial state." I'm done flipping talking to you. Can I talk to someone who actually knows what she's talking about and who actually cares that I'm about to go homeless? I'm kind of confused and kind of irritated. Sure. I transferred her over to one of the other staff members who's in direct contact with Mercy's Gate and often works side by side with them. They basically told this woman the same thing and referred her to Mercy's Gate. About a week later, the same woman actually shows up to our workplace and puts on a big scene and talks about how she's going to report us for breaking COVID restrictions when we weren't, and yada yada. I don't know what ended up happening to the girl. All I know is that my workplace kept referring her to Mercy's Gate for help, and she didn't want it. This is John from /Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, then subscribe and click on that notifications bell. We would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.